Hello everybody, welcome to this channel. I'm Payman Asari. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about RapidMiner, how to load data into RapidMiner using different techniques, as well as how to save the process and the result of a process. When you open up RapidMiner on your desktop, you will see a screen like this, which has different panels. The first panel is repository, where you save your data and processes in this panel. Also, we have operators where you can find the operators that you want to use in the process part. In this part, or the design part, you design your process by integrating operators and data from these two panels. For each operator that you bring in the process part, you will have a parameter panel which is specific for that operator and you need to configure. Also, we have the help part that has an explanation about that specific operators. Let's first create a new repository. In order to create a new repository, click on this icon and choose Create Connect to Repository. And then choose the Create New Local Repository and click Next. And you can give it a name here. I'm going to call it Learning Repository and then click Finish. Now, as you can see, it is being created here. I'm going to choose this one and create a new subfolder. And I'm going to call it Data and click OK. The new subfolder data has been created. There are different ways that we can load the data into RapidMiner. One of them is use import data. If I click this one, then I have two choices. My computer, where if the data is in the local, otherwise if it is in database. Here I'm gonna choose my computer because data is in this computer, and then here I need to locate where the data is. In this case, I use desktop and RapidMiner data and choose the data that I have, and then click Next. And as you can see here, there are different parameters. We can take a look. The header row is the first row of the data set that we use as a header. Then we have a start row, which is the first row. And as you can see here, then column separator, in this case is CSV file, it is comma, and if it is something else, then you can change it. We also have a file encoding, which is chosen automatically. And we have decimal character, which is point here, and the other parameter also has been chosen automatically. And if there is no problem here, you can see there is a check mark here, then you can click Next to go to the next stage. And here is where you can see the data, the type of the column that you have, the number of rows, and you can do different things here. For example, if I click here, you can change the data type. If it is polynomial, you can change it to binomial, to real, integer, and so on. Here is where you can change the data type. Also, you can change the row as well as rename the column. If you want to change the column name, you just choose that one and give the new name here. Also, if you want to exclude this column, come here, just simply exclude the column. As you can see, this column will no longer be used, but you can include it again by simply include this column. And if there is no problem with the data set, again, you see this no problems button here, and then choose the next. And this is where you can save the data in the repository that you want. You choose the repository, you choose the subfolder, and then you can change the name of the data set. And then finish. Here is the result. And if you come to the design part, you can see the data now is being saved in the data subfolder on learning repository. The second method to load data into RapidMiner is using operator. Here I'm looking for read operator. And as you can see, there are different operators that can be used to read different types of data set into the RapidMiner. We can use read CSV, read Excel, read URL, and there are a lot of different one of them. But in our case, because it is a CSV file, I'm going to use read CSV. You can double click on it. It will come here. And then I need to configure this operator and import the data. And if I choose this import configuration wizard, then I need to locate where the data is. In this case, mine is in desktop, and I locate the data set and I choose next. The rest is the same as the previous method, import data. And the data now it's in this operator now. When the data is stored in the repository, you need to bring it to the process part. In order to do that, we use a retrieve method. This is the retrieve. And now I need to configure it. And in order to do that, I'm going to choose where the data is, and I need to locate the data set. It is in this repository and the data set. I choose it and then click OK. And now the data is in this operator now. And in order to save the result of the process, we can use the store method. I look for the store method and it is here. And I can bring it here, connect the two operators together, and then configure the store method. I'm gonna say where to save the data. Let's suppose that I'm gonna save it in local repository and in the data subfolder. And now I'm giving a new name, call it as data 0. And just OK. And if I connect this one to the output, this is my process. I need to save the process. I click the save button here and I tell where to save the process. Here I choose the process subfolder and give it a name. I'm calling it loading data. And then OK. And it is saved in the process loading data. And in order to run it, I just click this run button here. And you can see the result in the result tab.